Because that's what I feel like it when I walk in. They start playing the music. So. Oh,
automatic. No, they turn it up.
They like it. They like it. Yeah.
Biggest takeaway from the game on Sunday and just the last couple of days you guys have been able to have on the court?
Yeah, I think I know as a team, I think we had a couple days, to kind of set. We rest and we had a couple good practice. So we had to kind of reset what we left off. Kind of like season, like when we started beginning of the season. We had good communication, good system of defense and all that. So we kind of get back to that, get back onto that track. And you can see from the game, I think we are moving well, communicating well. So I think defensively we won the game. So I think we got to keep doing that.
You mentioned the low man has been much better defensively over the past week or so. How much was that emphasized in practices and meetings, and how much responsibility do you feel on that weekend?
That's what we do in the practice. Literally, we walk in our low man, help defense and all that. So I think we doing exactly we're supposed to do in time of especially the game that we want. Our offenses has been really great, but I think with the defense we have a good potential to be a good defense team. So I think we got to keep doing that, and I think low man's going to be really, really important. Especially me, I've been in a lot of low man side, so I'm more like watching film with the coaches, and trying to make sure I'm in the right position.
This might be related, but I think it was before the Minnesota game. JJ said that he thought, in terms of what the coaching staff has asked for from a player this year, that you've been the most consistent at delivering. For a player whose consistency sometimes over your career has been up and down for a variety of reasons. I guess, had you heard that? Had they expressed that to you? And I guess, where have you taken steps you think towards that?
I think it's just they letting me play with my strength, and those things that they tell me is that it doesn't hurt my career, it actually helps my career. So it actually, of course, helps me and it helps the team. So it's a good, win-win situation. So I'm trying to, focus on that, especially defensively. I have to kind of, that's the people been always, talk about it, and I think, but with the team defense, with this concept, I think I can be more, be active, and I can be more, kind of trying to guess, but I think I can be in the right position, and I can use my length, and I think that's the one thing that I've been working on with the coaches, and I think that's getting better.
As you've matured as a player, there was, to mention the Minnesota game, I don't think I would have seen you play a lot of point of attack defense on a player like Anthony Edwards before.
Yeah.
But that was an assignment you had plenty of times, through switches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Has your off-court time, have you put more into defense?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think when we watch the film with the coaches, it's all most of them are about defense, and especially with the Vandals out and then some guys is out, and I can be the one. I have to be the one that big perimeter guard. I have to guard those main. We're about the best players on the other team, so they actually help me. It's just I can be more. I can get the reps. And I can kind of. Use that to other players, whoever we against, and as a team, I think we have a great help defense right now, so that's kind of helping me.
It's the worst walk-up song.
That's right. No.
Rui, against this specific Kings matchup with Fox and Monk in the perimeter, sometimes AD has to get deployed out to help there. Do you have to have even more focus at the rim with Sabonis in this specific one?
For sure, I think it's going to be especially he's a great offensive rebounder, so we have to, not only one guy, but I think as a team, I think we have to do gang rebound, and we watch film, and we work on that too. So I think we have a good plan for the, especially a guy like Sabonis, and those guys, they always. When they get switched, they're gonna sit on the paint and they're trying to get the offense rebound, they're trying to steal, and then all those get easy touch. So we gotta be physical. That's gonna be these two games gonna be very important for us. Especially they're in the same conference and they're in the same kind of ranks. So I think we ready for that.
Do you think part of your ability to spend more time concentrating on defense comes from the fact, like, at this stage of your career, like, you kind of know where your points are going to come from? That,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like, you have your spot, like, that stuff's established, I guess,
Yeah,
at this point?
Yeah, I think offensively, people know what I do, what I can do. I think defense has been my, main, goal, not goal, but like, main, things that I've been working on. And but it comes with a team defense too. I think as a team we have to connect. We have to help each other. We have to have the mentality to kind of, guard everybody. So, but I think this year I have that more, and I'm trying to, I want to win here. So that's the thing that, you can't just play offense. You got to play defense too. So I'm trying to be, two-way players, whatever the call, and trying to impact the game in a different way.
Last question. When you say defense is the main thing that you've been trying to work on this year, did that come from you? Did that come from JJ? Did that come from AD? Where'd that come from?
It comes from me, of course, but I think with what we experienced so far in this, with this team, we need more defenders for sure, So I think I gotta be the guy. The more I have to be focused on, because I'll be on the court a lot of times now. So I think it's important, especially rebounds and all that, those everything, I want to impact the game, not only the scoring, but something different, And I think that can be defense, rebound, anything. So that's what I'm focused on.
Thanks, Rui.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, success and how practice went today. Really just the last 2 days for you guys to be on the practice floor.
It was good.
You guys came out for yesterday.
Yeah, it was good. Anytime we get a chance to practice and clean some things up on both ends of the floor, it's good for us. Having a couple days off, guys letting their bodies heal, and getting ready to face a team. That's not the team that people think as far as their standings and their record. They're a much better team. Obviously, they've been competitive for the past 3-4 years, and we got to come out and be ready to play. Going over some game plan things, but having some practice time is good for us.
For you personally, I know coming in, we talked about the positives of coming off the Olympics and how good your body felt. I'm just curious, kind of the rare time without games during the stretch right now, if you felt just an opportunity to kind of have a moment for your body?
Yeah.
Or if that's even a picture, I guess.
Anytime, you play throughout the summer, competitive basketball, and then, come right into the season. The break that we had this week and last week, it's been good for my body, let it heal, let it rest a little bit. It's definitely been good.
Just as a follow to that, you guys talked about how sharp the Olympics made your guys' body feel. Is there come to a point where you feel the pace of just not having that break?
No, I don't. I'm not sure about other players, but I still feel good.
This is one of the unique things I think a high-level pro answer, but LeBron is going to pass the threshold for most minutes ever played in the NBA. To a certain I don't even know. What does it take to mentally be able to compete that much with that much responsibility? And I'm just curious, like, how do you train for that level of endurance? If you can.
Yeah, obviously he does a great job taking care of his body, and he had for the past 22 years, and he went to the finals 8 straight times. So it's like, you're gonna play a lot of minutes, and when it comes playoff time, there's no minute restriction. Sure. The guy needs to play 48, they'll play 48. And if he's a guy who wants to go on the floor, he wants to have the same way, he wants to compete. So, the minutes is gonna log for sure. He's always been a star. He's never been a role player or anything where his minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. He's always been low to high 30s and sometimes even 40s, when he was younger. So it's just a lot of recovery, a lot of nutrition, eating right, taking care of your body, to have you to be able to go out on the floor and compete every night, and having those long games, 45 minutes, 48 minutes, whatever the case may be, and be ready to go the next day or the day after and compete. game.
Anthony, this trip mirrors almost exactly what game 1 and 2 on the road of a playoff series would be. Obviously, it's not the playoffs, but it's difficult generally to get a team twice in that kind of a setting. Do you go game by game? How do you mentally approach this kind of a thing?
Game by game. Obviously the game plan would be a little different, than game 1, going to game 2. But taking one game at a time. That's all you can do. You don't know what's going to happen, in game 1 that'll affect game 2. So we look at game 1 as its own entity, and then focus on game 2 on Friday.
You guys have had your best defensive performances in the last 3 games. What have you liked about the defense over the past week or so compared to earlier this season? What do you look carried over to the weekend?
We're covering for each other. We're talking. We're playing hard on the defensive end. We're rebounding. All the things that we wasn't doing, we're kind of doing. So I think the biggest thing, we just covering for each other. We wasn't having a lot of that. A guy get beat, it wasn't a guy there to protect him. And we've got some practice time to kind of take care of that. And it's showing and translating onto the court.
AD, they've made some changes to the All-Star game. I'm assuming based on your production, very likely that you'll be there. What do you think about the changes, and what can be done to make sure that's a competitive experience year in, year out?
I don't know. I don't really like it, but we'll see how it goes this year and see if they change that or not.
What would you like? Wait, what's been the best thing?
2 teams. Anything go back to like East-West, but the 4 teams and multiple games and all that stuff is I don't think a lot of players are going to like that personally, but we'll see. See how it goes.
Thanks, sir.
What you guys were able to get accomplished?
Felt like the last 2 days, despite yesterday only having 8 able bodies, we got some stuff done. Got some stuff done today as well. Both offensively and defensively. So the spirit of the group was great. Hopefully we can use Sunday's game and the last 2 days to continue building.
When it comes to what you're looking for out of that 5th position in the starting 5, and the consistency, the results that you're looking for, and you think of a guy like Max filling that role, what's kind of the balance and the patience with a young player in that position?
The patience is there with Max. I view Max as one of the sort of core guys in our young group. I have belief in him as a player and what he's going to be in the league, and I have belief in him in who he is right now. And he's not necessarily going to be judged on like offensive production night to night. There's going to be nights where he may get 10 to 12 shots and score 18 to 20, but from that spot we very clearly need a point of attack defender, a guy who's going to disrupt, a guy who's going to play hard every night, and if he can make some threes and get some offensive rebounds and run and cut and do all that stuff, I think about sort of the complementary piece. He has a chance to be sort of the perfect mold for that.
By the numbers, you guys have had your 2 best defensive performances. 3
in a row.
What have you liked about the defense compared to early in the season, and what do you hope that carries over into the weekend?
Yeah, I think some stuff was really good with our game plan discipline against Memphis. The low man and the low man presence and the high shift presence that we have talked about all season, that to me is what's probably improved the most, where our low man is consistently in there, our shift presentation is consistently high and active, showing length. Those are the things that really stand out to me.
In this down period, what has been your biggest point of emphasis?
continuing to I don't think there's been a point of emphasis, just continuing to create clarity in certain things, clean up certain things, improve at certain things. You know, we worked on our post defense today. We need some improvement there with all of our coverages and options out of that. So it just, you have to use these opportunities to improve. And you look at a game like Sunday. It was Sunday, right? Memphis Sunday. You look at a game like Sunday where the emphasis then comes into play with the game plan, where it's really simple. 3 things. Can we do these 3 things well? We'll have a chance to win.
Is that true for Sacramento?
There's always keys, I think. There's certainly things that we'll look to try to do with some of their best players to try to limit. But the emphasis points for us, to be honest, are fairly consistent. How we start and finish possessions, i.e. do we sprint back in transition, i.e. do we box out. And then you can get into the specific game plan stuff. Memphis was very rare, not rare, but Memphis was very specific in you let them get middle, you're screwed. And our guys did a really good job of that in their discipline.
Were you guys at everybody was supposed to participate today? Participate, or is anything else?
Yeah, there's nothing new. AD and LeBron were full participants.
With AD specifically, like, I mean, transition defense very much is always something of a challenge because of where he finishes possessions. How do you balance kind of, what are ways, I guess, you guys can correct that? Or
I think it's 2 very simple things. He has to then make the effort to get back because he is going to be underneath the basket. He is going to try to draw fouls. We recognize he is going to fall sometimes. Like, there's a lot of players that do that. So he's got to make the effort to get back as quickly as possible. And then for the rest of the guys, it just comes down to our transition defense rules. They're executing that, i.e. staying out of limbo, sprinting all the way back, no man behind, protecting the basket first, locating the basketball, declaring the basketball, locating the threat, and then once we're kind of set,
maybe
getting low.
Maybe not crashing as much if he needs underneath, or is it like, I mean, do you have to read kind of where he's at based on
that to me is more a game plan thing, which we've said on a driving layup, you're not crashing in the corner. But generally speaking, if we're shooting jump shots, we want corner crashes.
Question?
Coach, when it comes to playing the games, back-to-back games, and I think a couple games after, again, do you like the fact you can kind of dig into the tape on the same team, or is it harder because you're facing the same team multiple times?
Never done it before. I don't know.
How about as a player? Did you like those moments when you had back-to-back games with the same team?
I like the idea of which they started doing, I think, right at the end of my career, which is basically you have a 2-game road trip, but you're in the same spot. You sleep in the same bed for 3 nights. That's always nice.
Last question.
All right.
JJ.
Thank you.